It is Friday night and your house is basked in the glow of Shabbat candles as your family sits down to eat. You hear the oven ding and out comes a fresh golden brown loaf of challah bread with the overwhelming aroma that fills your home. Wouldn't that be a dream come true? My name is Abby Morse and we can actually make that a reality by learning how simple it is to bake our own challah bread. For this speech, I will demonstrate the process and enjoyment of kneading, stretching, and braiding a loaf of challah. In Israeli culture, challah loaves are baked in sets of 2 to symbolize the double portion of manna that God provided to the Israelites during their period of wandering in the wilderness. Traditional challah is assembled with a 4-strand braid, symbolizing truth, peace, justice, and love. Throughout the years, different styles and shapes have been experimented with to showcase the different purposes that challah can represent for different holidays. For example, during Rosh Hashanah, we braid a round loaf to embody the idea that the Lord has no beginning or end. And for Purim, triangular loaves are made to represent the famous hat that Haman wore. But today, I will only show you how to execute the most common and simple version of challah, a 4-strand braid. Prior to this recording, I formed the dough and let it rise according to my grandmother's recipe, which is listed in the description of this video. For now, we will only learn the fun part. Right here, I have my challah dough, and I let it rise under the stove with a towel to keep it covered because yeast rises best in dark places. I also have a bowl of flour, which will not use all of it. We only need a little bit to coat the dough. I'm going to coat my surface in some flour so that my dough does not stick to the table. Kneading challah is a very fun process because the dough is actually very easy to do. All you have to do is take the palm of your hand and pull the dough over and push it flat. And we're just going to spin the bread, or our dough for the bread, and push it flat until it is nice and combined with a little bit of flour and there's no sticking at all. Okay. Now that that is done, we are going to split it in half. This will be our 2 loaves of challah. The first one we're going to set aside because we can only braid one at a time. And we're going to split this into 4 more sections. So in half and then in half again. And these will be our 4 strands that we will braid. Now, to separate the strands, or to stretch the strands, we are going to just squeeze them and pull them farther apart. And as you can see, they get longer and longer and longer. Doing it this way instead of rolling it like you would do for cookie dough prevents the strands from separating and breaking. Now we have 1, and we will do this for all 4 strands. Once you're done, you will have 4 relatively even-sized strands of dough. And the next step that we're going to do is connect them at the top. So I'm going to scooch them closer like this. And we want the fourth one and the first one on the bottom. So we're going to connect those first and pinch them at the top. And then the middle two, we're going to pinch on top of those. Just like this. Now the actual braiding part is very fun and very simple. If you know how to do a 4-strand braid, this will come quite easy to you. If you don't, I will teach you. We're going to take our first strand on the very far side and we're going to move it to the third spot. And then we're going to push these all over. And then the fourth one will become the second. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the two middle pieces, just cross them over. And we're going to repeat this process all the way down. So 1 becomes 4, 4 becomes 2, cross the middles. As you get close to the end, your strands will become a little bit unevenly sized, but that's okay because usually at the end they're thicker anyway. So you can just keep stretching them to make them a little bit longer and a little more even. And continue your braid as far down as you can get it. Once you get to the end, you're going to take all your pieces and pinch them just like you did to the top. And then we tuck the tail under. And you have a beautiful. Now I will cover this and leave it to rise for 30 more minutes. After, I will coat it in whisked egg whites and leave it to bake in the oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 30 minutes before presenting to you with the final results. Here it is, fresh from the oven. Baked and beautiful, you are set for a lovely Shabbat dinner or an enjoyable side dish to any meal. In conclusion, challah bread is simple, easy, and a lovely addition to whatever dish your heart desires. It creates a lovely twist to many basic quick breads, and there are so many ways to dress it up for any occasion. Whether it's the history of your bread, the way you choose to showcase it, or any elements added, a beautiful challah can spice up any dinner, and I'm so thankful that I was able to demonstrate it.